Technical Witness Preparation Podcast, Do Not Volunteer Information, features litigation attorney Dan Small explaining that witnesses need to be prepared to answer the question asked and then stop. They should not volunteer additional information just to fill silence in the room. This episode is the 8th part in the ongoing, in-depth 10-part series on the rules for witness preparation. Mastering these 10 rules will help you establish a higher level understanding and the discipline necessary to effectively prepare a witness in a case.
Question, pause, answer, stop. That is the unnatural rhythm of the witness environment. In prior podcasts, we've talked about rules for witnesses for the first 3 of these 4 steps. Question. Rule 5's podcast covered don't answer a question you don't understand. Pause. Rule 1 covered count to 5 after each question. Answer. Rule 6 addressed don't guess. If you don't remember, just say so. Now we talk about the stop. It's something else about being a witness that most people are not prepared for. Silence. In a conversation, we're used to filling the silences. Everyone is familiar with uncomfortable silence, and we all try to avoid it. Witnesses have to be prepared to answer and then stop. Don't volunteer additional information just to fill the silences. This is unnatural in several respects. The essence of conversation is connections. One thought leads to another, and the conversation flows. If you're chatting over lunch and your companion asks if you saw a recent movie, your response will probably not be a simple yes or no. Rather, you'll go on to talk about whether you liked it, who you saw it with, or what other movies you've seen, with the same actor or actress, or whatever else interests you. Think about how a conversation like that might go. Question. Hey, did you see movie X with actor Smith? Answer. Yeah, but I really liked him better in movie Y. The acting was better. Of course, it may just be that the night I saw that movie was really memorable, since Mark almost got arrested on the way home. The movie went longer than we thought, so Mark was really speeding on the way home and saw the police car just in time. He's such a crazy driver, I'm really worried he's going to get into an accident someday. And so on. A conversation that started with a simple question about movie X has quickly flowed along to Mark the dangerous driver through a series of understandable connections. No one asked about Mark or even movie Y, but in a conversation that kind of volunteering is all right. As a witness, it is not all right. In the unnatural question and answer world of being a witness, connections are not the goal. Your job as a witness is generally to answer the question carefully, briefly, and precisely, and then go home. Question, pause, answer, stop. The questioner's job is to ask the right question to get at the information he or she wants. It should not be the questioner's job to help answer the questions by trying to put words in your mouth. Nor should it be your job to help the questioner ask better questions or to volunteer information beyond the narrow lines of the question. Connections mean that you are volunteering information. Don't do it. You may think that it will somehow help or shorten your time as a witness, but it won't. Wait for a clear and simple question. Keep your answer as short, simple, and narrow as possible, and then stop. If a questioner does not follow up with more questions and thereby misses other information, that's not your problem. Your volunteered addition may be inadmissible, irrelevant, or just off track. You have not limited the number of questions that he or she can ask, and so you do not need to volunteer something that was not asked. Think about what this same movie discussion might look like with a careful witness who does not volunteer. Question. Did you see movie X with actor Smith? Answer. Yes. Question. Did you like it? Yes. Have you seen any other movies with actor Smith? Yes. Which ones? Movie Y. Which movie did you like better, movie X or movie Y? I'm not sure. And so on. Each question is answered truthfully, but you have not done the questioner's job for him or her. You have not volunteered. You have broken that chain of connections. It may not make for exciting conversation, but it does make for good testimony. There are no shortcuts here. Answer each question at its most basic level. Move forward in small, easy steps. Don't try to help the process along or anticipate where it might be going. Too often that means going off that straight and narrow path forward. Those kinds of side steps can take much more time in the long run and greatly add to the difficulty of being a witness. Your goal should be to give the questioner nowhere to go but forward toward the end. Some time ago, I represented an investment manager in testimony before the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. Through a long day of questioning, he did a great job of listening carefully and keeping his answers precise and simple. It was hard work, and it went against his talkative nature. Finally, late in the afternoon, he faltered. He answered a question completely, stopped, and then thought of something related to the question that he wanted to say. Like the movie example, he answered the question about movie X, but his mind made a connection to movie Y. The good news was that as he started to say something else, he remembered the rule, caught himself, and stopped. The bad news was that the SEC lawyer, tired of having to deal with a careful witness, picked up on his hesitation and pushed him to say what he had started. Before I could remind him that he'd already answered the question, he was off on this tangent. Although it was actually an insignificant matter, the questioner was so intent on pursuing anything that came out spontaneously that we ended up going on and on about this new topic for half an hour before it petered out and we got back to the original line of questions. When we went out for the next break, my client looked at me sheepishly and said, "You don't have to say anything. I know what I did wrong." In an effort to help things along, he had only added to the process. His shortcut had wasted half an hour that would have been saved by silence. Not volunteering additional information beyond the direct answer means realizing that silence is okay. This is a hard adjustment. We don't like it. And experienced questioners know this. They know that silence can be a very effective tool by playing off that natural discomfort. A questioner may use silence by simply waiting at the end of your answer, as if, surely you can't be finished. Surely there is more. Don't play that game. Answer the question simply, then stop and wait for the next question. Use the silence to prepare for what is ahead, not to volunteer more of what has passed. There are two general exceptions to do not volunteer that a witness and his or her lawyer might want to discuss. The first is the simple misunderstanding exception. If the questioner and you are not communicating and becoming bogged down because of a clear and simple misunderstanding over a basic fact, it may be worthwhile to volunteer to correct the error. The second exception is for core themes. Every matter has a few key themes that you as a witness may wish to get across. The more involved a witness is with the matter, particularly as a party, the more important these themes become. If the witness and his lawyer or her lawyer agree on these themes, the two of you may also want to think about whether and when you want to go beyond the simple answer to a question and volunteer information to support it. It's important to note that if you are hit with a flash of insight or recollection while answering questions, and it has not been previously discussed with counsel, if possible, hold this to yourself until you have a chance to go over it with counsel, perhaps at a break. Counsel should not be caught unprepared, and your volunteering the sudden memory flash may cause a variety of problems. Question, pause, answer, stop. That is the rhythm of being a witness. Practice the stop and practice silence. They are not natural or easy, but they are essential. Don't volunteer information not covered in the question.
Thank you for listening to Do Not Volunteer Information, Rule 8 in the 10-part in-depth series Rules for Witness Preparation. Holland Knight's Powerful Witness Preparation podcast series is led by Dan Small, a litigation partner who focuses on internal and external investigations, witness preparation, and white-collar criminal matters. His popular CLE programs on witness preparation and other litigation topics can be arranged through the Professional Education Group at proedgroup.com. He's the author of the ABA's Manual on Preparing Witnesses, and he welcomes input on this and other podcast programs at dan.small@hklaw.com.